MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul
Amin.
uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Aray en weltanike jama on en yetti Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ko tawni nde nyalande do kadi. Sheikh Ismail, how you doing?
Good, alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. MashaAllah. All right, let's do this. So today is the what day? 9th day of Ramadan, at least for us here. Yeah, the 9th day of Ramadan, and this is a continuation of the basic Tawhid and Fiqh. Inshallah, this is like the 5th day of basic Tawhid and Fiqh, and today we're going to talk about the Wudu, ablution. Inshallah ta'ala. This is the only thing that we're going to talk about today, just the Wudu, salligi, right? Salliga gol, just that. So we're going to talk about the kayfiyah first. Kayfiyatul wudu. As we all know, wudu is something that we are required to do before the praying, worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it's something that all Muslims need to know how to perform. So it's a wajib upon us. It's a fard ain. So let's talk about like how to perform wudu, right? And then talk about other things thereafter. And I'm with Sheikh Ismail, and he will also be adding and also maybe giving more details on whatever I talk about here. So he's with us, and in case of anything, he's with me, inshallah. I know, right? You got my back. All right. First, I'm reading this. This is like the Alful Jannah book, so I'm reading it from the book Alful Jannah. Kayfiyatul wudu. First, tanwi al-wudu'a biqalbika wa taqulu bismillah. First, you have to have intention in your heart. Like in your heart, you intend that you're performing wudu. Then, after the intention, you say bismillah. Bismillah. And sorry. And I like the idea of just intending for wudu and making it generic. So you just intend like that you are performing wudu and make it generic. I think I like that better than instead of like having the intention of I'm performing wudu for Salatul Asr, for example. I'm performing wudu for the Asr prayer. You know, that's too specific. And I like I want to like make it like broader, wider. Just intend that you perform wudu. By doing so, you can pray like Asr with that wudu, Maghrib, and whatever else, right? So I like that better. Just make it like broad intention. I could hear echo.
Yeah, I said that's true, and that's much better.
Right. Okay, my voice was echoing too. For some reason, yeah. But not too bad though. Not too bad. We're on the same page. So like that's third step. ثم تغسل يديك ثلاثا. Then you wash your hands 3 times. When we say hands, it's from the tip of your fingers to here, like just your hands, right? 3 times. ثم تتمضمض ثلاثا وتستنشق ثلاثا. Then you rinse your mouth 3 times. You rinse it 3 times, and then you rinse your nose also 3 times. And this is the thing about rinsing your mouth and nose. By the way, this is my right hand, right? You rinse it 3 times with your right hand. This is how I usually do it. Like you take the water, 1, 2, and 3, and then more water for your nose. By the way, you can like scoop just 1 scoop. You could use that scoop for your both mouth and nose. The Prophet used to do that sometimes, but also you can like divide it, like a scoop for the mouth 3 times, and then another one for rinsing the nose 3 times. How about like putting your finger in your mouth? Well, bro, I could hear like me echoing. I don't know. Give me a second, like just a second.
Well, I will mute my mic shortly. Yes, Sheikh, can I come in?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, just make sure you go to your settings and then mirror your video so that your right hand is your right hand and your left hand is your left hand.
Thank
My
you, man.
right hand,
Right now,
I
so
see
you
your
guys
left
think this is
hand.
my left hand? Oh, let me do that right now.
Yes, man. I'm like, what is
I mean,
up
it's
with him?
mirrored, bro. Like it's the setting, like it's mirrored right now. Let me turn that off and
Oh,
see. See, right now it's just weird to
is that
me.
your right? What is
This
your
is my
right? The one holding the phone?
nyam
Exactly.
nyam
Now,
hand.
exactly. Now that's right to me.
Oh, I mean, for me right now it's just
Yeah.
upside down. But yeah, let's do it like this. Seems like we're doing
This
this for
one
the
is correct.
audience.
This last one. Now right is right, left is left.
Wow. Okay. For me, I'm like, yeah, this looks like my right hand right now to me, at least. But anyways, another thing. Let's like I think when I'm talking, you should mute yourself for today for some reason because it's echoing. Aha, the echo is gone. But unmute yourself anytime and just add whatever you want to add, bro. So hmm, finger, like using your finger, right? Um, I was like doing some research and see that like Ali ibn Abi Talib sometimes he used to use his finger. So you could use your finger if you feel like you want to use your finger. It's all okay. It's perfect. It's normal. But you don't have to. It's not part of it. You could just rinse your mouth without your finger. But if you use your finger, it's all good, man. Um, that's the rinsing your mouth and nose 3 times, right? وَتَغْسِلُ وَجْهَكَ ثَلَاثًا. And also wash your face 3 times. ثلاثا, right? 3 times. When we say face, it's from here, your hairline, to your like down here to your like chin, not your chin, actually to the beginning of your neck. Like wash all of this, like, and then from here to here, everything in between, right? So wash that 3 times. That's your face. ثم تغسل يديك من الأصابع إلى المرفقين 3 times 3 مرات. And then wash your hand, right? يديك, your hand, from the tip of your fingers من الأصابع إلى المرفقين, to your, including, this is like, I want to make it clear, including your elbow. So from the tip of your fingers to your elbow. I can't even like control the camera right now since like this is like upside down to me. I was doing this like two, anyways. So yeah, everything, right? 3 times. Please don't laugh at me.
Don't worry, the camera is controlling you. Just continue.
Yeah. So yeah, 3 times, right? And then you do the same thing for your left hand. This is the mistakes some people do. You know, when you begin the wudu, you wash your hands 3 times, and then when they come to washing their hands now after the face, they just begin from, I'm sorry, they begin from here, like going down, like they begin from here, going down, and this is not the proper way to do it, because washing your hand at first was a sunnah of the prayer, right? Of the wudu, sorry, it was like a sunnah, not a must. But now this one, washing your hand, this one is a must. This one is a must. So including your hand, like all everything is a must. So let's not begin from here. Like many people, this is how they do it. They just begin from here because everything is wet. They don't like, they know this is wet already, so they just begin from here. But the best way is begin from the tip of your fingers to like including your elbow. And that's like 3 times, right? And let's keep going. Tabda bil yumna, right? You always begin from the right. And ثم تمسح رأسك وأذنيك مرة واحدة ثم تغسل رجليك مع الكعبين. And then now you rub your head going back and forth 1 time, and then your ears. Each one you do it 1 time, right? Each one 1 time. How you do this? Just make sure your hands are wet. Don't scoop water and pour it on your head. Not like that. Please, please, Chef Ismail. I see some of my students doing so. That's why I was like, oh, this is important to like just to make clear. The student was like this. Yeah, seriously. I was like, mashallah, good job. Anyways, so just make sure your hands are wet. Just make them wet and then rub your head, mashallah, mashu, going back and then come forward and then use that hand, like that wet fingers of yours, that those wet hands still, and then do your ears. How about if you just take, or like you take water separately for your ears? It's okay, it's all good, but you don't have to. You could still use that water, that those wet hands for your ears. I think that's clear too. This is almost the wudu, right? Now we only have the washing the feet. You want me to show my feet, Chef? Please don't make me do that. Please.
After the
Please.
class, after the lecture.
After, thank you. After the class. MashaAllah. So yeah, you just wash your feet. Now, this is how you wash your feet. Let's say this is your feet. But bro, you make me get confused today because this camera, I can't control myself on the camera. Like it's like I'm like upside down. But yeah, if this is your feet, right? And this is your bro. Okay. And if this is your ankle, and this is like your feet and toes, mashallah, nice toes, right? Um, if this is you, then wash everything, like from like your toes, between your toes too, between your toes. Toes is like the fingers on your feet. So between your toes, you wash between the toes, everything, and then underneath your feet, you wash everything, right? To your ankle. Make sure everything is wet. Don't skip a spot. And there's something called adalku, washing it thoroughly, like thoroughly. You wash it thoroughly, like you make sure everything is wet. Don't just rush and push push. No, that's not the real wudu. The real wudu is to make sure everything is wet. And now, another thing that I want to add before I give it back to Sheikh Ismail, this wudu is very important. But let's make sure we reach all the spots, especially the elbow. Make sure you include your whole elbow, not just here to your elbow here, but include your elbow. And for your ankle, like the feet, include it. Include the ankle. Include the ankle. Okay. So, mashallah, Shaykh Ismail, faddal.
Barakallahu fiqh. Let's start with the last ones. You did mention a good point of scrubbing inside the toes or the fingers of the feet. Yes, like running the fingers of the hand in the middle of. Now,
The toe, right?
just to, yes, yes. Now, by the way, guys, the fourth step of the wudu after the intention, washing the two hands. Some would call it washing the wrist. You know, the hands to the wrist. You can call it washing the wrist to differentiate it with the fourth step of washing the arm, the longer hand. Now, Sheikh, just make it a little bit clearer for me. What about after I wash my face 3 times? And then I'm washing my hands, this one and this one to the ankle. Should I also make sure to run my fingers in between these fingers? Or it's not very necessary?
It's very necessary, bro. Like make sure make sure everything is like wet. Like run your fingers between your fingers, a finger between your fingers, right? Yeah. That's very important. Very important.
So sorry guys, I don't have where to place this
You
device.
want me to
Let's see.
hold your camera? Can I hold your camera for you, bro?
Yes, bro. Let's try
Yeah,
this. Sorry guys. Okay.
Mashallah.
So do this. Go this way. Come back. And when you're back, make sure to do something like this. Is this right, Sheikh?
Yeah, mashallah.
And
Yes.
then something similar as well, and then or when something like this, right?
Right. Between your fingers.
Yes. And the Sheikh Sheikh Ali explained something important where he said the first washing of the hand to the wrist is the sunnah, and then this second stage of the hands to the ankle or washing the arms, then this
Mm-hmm.
one is fard. Can you give us a short explanation as to what's the difference between sunnah and the
Mm.
fard?
Well, when we say sunnah of especially the wudu, these are things that are important, but it's not like we have to do it, if I could say like that. So, but when we say something is fard, that means that thing is incumbent. Those are like the pillars of the wudu. You can't skip them. You can't skip them. Let's say, for example, you can't like skip washing the hand and be like, I have wudu, right? You can't do that. And also another thing to remember about the sunnahs of the wudu, if you skip a sunnah and remember it, you could go back and fix it. For example, I forgot rinsing my nose, right? And I'm washing my hand right now, and then remember that I didn't rinse my nose. The only thing I need to do is just to go back, rinse my nose, and continue where I left off. Continue like what I was doing, right? But when I skipped when I skipped a wajib of the wudu, then I have to go back and start all over. For example, I'm washing my feet, right? And remember that I didn't wash my left hand. Is this my left hand? Yes, I got it. So, and remember that I didn't wash my left hand. Then what should I do? Just to go back and wash my left hand? No, I have to go back and wash like my left hand and then continue from there and go, is it after the left hand? Is it the head? Yeah. And then nose and then go all the way. You can't just go back and fix it and continue what you were doing. You have to go back and fix it and then do the next steps, even if you did them before. So, but like for the sunnahs of the wudu, especially like washing the hand, it's not something that it's like recommended or like you can skip. It's something that you should include, especially washing the hands, especially nowadays, like with the germs and everything. So yeah, let's include that too.
Yes, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, whatever the Prophet has given you, take it. And
Mm-hmm.
basically, what Sheikh Ali is trying to say here is, the washing of the face, then the arms, the hands to the elbow,
Mm-hmm.
the hair, the ears, which I will come to shortly, because mashallah, I have some good Fulani ones, and the feet. These are I believe there are 5 steps: the face, the hair, the face, the arms, the head. 5 steps. These are mentioned in the Quran like that. So these are more like the official steps, right?
Mm-hmm.
You not doing them, the Sheikh is saying you not doing one of those means you don't have a wudu. Now, what about the Sunnah ones? You leaving them out forgetfully and going ahead to pray, you do
Mm-hmm.
have a prayer.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes.
But you leaving them out deliberately, your prayer may not be accepted because the Prophet was
Mm-hmm.
doing it
Mm-hmm.
for good reason, and you leave them out. Now, one thing I like to tell the students doing our gender journey classes is that look at it this way.
Right.
You don't want to come washing your face with dirty hands.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
You
yes.
have the face before the arms. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in his wisdom, and
Sallallahu.
Allah knows he's a wise man. That's why He sent him, right? So before he would start anything, he would say Bismillah and wash his hands 3 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
he was a very hygienic man, as we know, right?
Mm-hmm.
MashaAllah. Like you've seen, yeah. He would make sure to wash his mouth 3 times, as the Sheikh said. You don't absolutely need to put your hand in there. The main thing is to, right? But
Mm-hmm.
you, as always, you know yourself better. If you're from eating, brush your teeth first before you perform wudu. It will make your wudu easier.
And if you don't have a brush,
Well, this is why
use
this came
your
out.
finger. Yeah, mashallah. Yeah,
Yeah.
use your finger.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, help you out with self with that. And then you don't want to go into the salah and then make a sujood, and it's the winter time and you have some mucus bugging you to come out.
Mm-hmm.
So, ease yourself, feel fresh. That's why after the wudu you feel fresh. Now, after you've done these, then you go ahead with the next level of the face and the arms, and
Right,
then
right.
the head and the feet. And I'd like to add one thing, that is, among the wisdoms of the wudu is that usually we are washing those parts that are exposed to the dust and the particles in the environment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, from
Yeah.
the hands, yes, the feet, the face, those dust that are up there, all the
Mm-hmm.
way to the nose, right? So, be fresh and light. Now, my question to you, Sheikh, before you continue to the next step, is
Mm-hmm.
about the ears. Like I've always seen people have this one in here and then go like this.
Mm.
I've forever been comfortable using this finger. Uh, is there a set finger that should be used, specific?
Well, not
This has
that
been
I
bugging me
know.
forever.
Yeah, yeah, not that I know. But for me, I always use my index finger, like put it inside, and then do it like this. So I go like this.
Oh
This one
wow.
inside, and this one outside, like this.
Yeah, we
Does
do
that
it
make sense?
similar. I do the same thing. But
So
I
you
see so many
copying me?
people like
You copying me,
do
bro?
it this. Oh,
Don't.
yeah, by the way. MashaAllah. So, let's
But yeah,
continue.
you could use this one though. Like I don't know how they do it though, but like yeah, if you want to use that, it's all okay. Yes, you just
The,
be
e-
comfortable.
the ears are.
This is the most important thing. Make sure you rub the inner part and the outer part like this. And
Mm,
and one thing I forgot though, like inside you do this and this first before doing this. So you do this and this before doing this. Is this clear? Like can you see my ears? I can't.
we can see them.
Oh, okay. I wish I could.
They are very visible.
Subhanallah. Anyway, mashallah. All right, let's continue to the next one, right? Keep going.
Yeah, let's
MashaAllah.
proceed to our next step.
So, yeah. عند الوضوء يجب الترتيب. This is very important. During wudu, it's also a must to do the steps like one after the other. You cannot just after washing your hand, wash your feet, and then go for your ears and then your head and like no, that's like a bar style thingy, yet a bar thingy. Like we don't want to do that. We just want to go like one after the other. The hands, bro, up from the hands, your mouth, nose, face, hands, head, ears, feet, like that. يجب الترتيب. So what's the meaning of tartib? أي أن تبدأ بأعضاء الوضوء مرتبة. So just what I explained. وتجب الموالاة. So we have tartib and muwalat. Tartib and muwalat are two different things. So when we say tartib, it's just going one after the other. But muwalat here means you don't wash your hands and then rinse your mouth and your nose and then go for a break, talk to some friends, play some basketball, get a haircut, and then come back and continue your wudu. That's like no. You have to go like straight from washing your hands, go straight to your like to the next one, and go straight. Do not waste time. How about if I want to just fix something real quick? Let's say I started like washing my hands and rinse my mouth and nose and then wash my face and then something comes up. I need to open the door. I'm in the restroom performing wudu, and then someone knocks on the door. I could go and open that door and come back and continue my wudu. That's not what I mean here. It's like a gap when like a huge gap is in between deliberately. You don't want to do that. You want to continue al muwalat, right? And
And that gap also includes not chilling on your phone, replying
uh-huh.
that those two messages and then
Yes,
continuing.
watching some TikTok videos and then
Yeah,
continue.
or those responses. You just what the Sheikh explained here is there's a valid need and you go do that, right?
Mm, yeah, inshallah, inshallah. All right, bro. So this one also mean الموالاة mean أي أن تغسل العضو تلو الآخر مباشرة دون فاصل أو تأخير. So this
Mhm,
is just what we explained.
mhm.
ويجب أيضا إيصال الماء للعضو بأكمله. Also like washing the whole organ the whole limb of that like part of the wudu, the whole limb, like everything. Let's say if we talk about washing, for example, like your face, you wash your whole face, not some part of your face, not the front face, but the whole thing. When we're
Yeah.
talking about your hands, like wash everything, like everything. So be akmalihi, we wash everything. Um, and also فمثلا like البعض يغسل اليدين إلى المرفقين ويترك بعض الأجزاء دون إيصال الماء إليها وهذا خطأ يجب التنبه إليه. This is just exactly what we just explained. So it's like I'm explaining before reading. Anyways, Sheikh, yalla.
Yeah, I think this covering every part of the limb with water is the area where most people tend to slip.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes. Even students of knowledge, I remember once we were going to Umrah, and I can call this guy the most advanced student. He
Mm.
just stepped out of his wudu, and I pointed to him a spot on his feet.
Mm-hmm.
That was, I could see this was dry, and then he thanked me profusely. Oh, jazakallah khair, because he could have just gone and prayed, and he would not have prayed.
MashaAllah. That was nice of him too. Maybe even
Yeah,
nicer than you, right? Don't you think
of
so?
course,
Because
of
some
course,
people,
because
right? Some
I
people,
was
when
just.
you point out their
Mhm,
mistakes, they tend
mhm,
to come back to you with
mhm,
some defense. Like they are like so defending. Like they just people,
mhm,
like some people, they just want to argue. They just want to tell, nah, this is
mhm.
already wet or something, like, or maybe they
Yeah, like
feel
it doesn't
arrogant.
even matter, right?
Yeah.
This is why the education is important. So
Mm-hmm.
he knew the importance of that. It was just, you know, about a little bit wider than a fingernail, and then he
Mm-hmm.
went and washed it up. Because guys, you never know. Someone could use the restroom, and then a spot of urine could have stuck on that place, and subhanallah, you go and stand in front of Allah
Mm-hmm.
with that. Yeah, so it's really important. Yes. I'll comment on the other point, and that's the mualat, meaning one after the other.
Right.
Yeah, so that one, guys, basically, we can use common sense, but one thing to keep in mind is your break should not allow that limb to dry off.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hmm?
Yes,
So
that makes sense.
yeah, yeah, that's a way to know that you've taken too much time. Let's say, I mentioned about the mobile phone because we know we love our phones, but sometimes there comes in a call or even a message.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's say a call, and you see this is a parent, for example, or this person calling you only calls for important things, and you cannot wait
Mm-hmm.
to finish your wudu and get back to them. You start talking with them, and it ends up dragging a little bit while you finish. If you are washing the right hand, you've done that 3 times, and it's almost dry, you know that you've taken long. So
Mm-hmm.
then you can just
Then
restart the
start all
wudu.
over. Yeah,
Yes,
that makes
yes. But
sense. I like
if
that.
it's all wet, that's just like 30 seconds. Sorry, I'm performing wudu. Let me call you back. That's perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the tartib
Thank you.
also. The Sheikh mentioned the tartib. Um, like sometimes it catches me where I am like, have I done the nose? You know. So if you think that I'm doing the face and I'm not sure about the nose, just do it again. In case
Mm-hmm.
you've done it before, it's fine. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Feel
Yeah.
free, continue, but don't mess with the face and the arms and the head and the ears and the feet.
Yeah, but like, thank you for that point. Let me add a little bit on that. Like,
Mhm.
having those confusions. There are people who have like real sickness of that, like those
Mhm,
kind of
mhm,
confusions.
mhm,
For those people, like, let's say if you are like, if that's you, you always confused. Did I do this? Did I do that? Have I? How many rakats
mhm,
did I pray? Did I wash my ears? While praying, you be like, did I wash my like,
mhm,
that if you're like those kind of like people, then the advice for you, the Islamic advice for you, is just to ignore those things. Those are like washwas from shaitan. Just ignore that and focus on the reality, and be act like you did it. Like don't mind. Like just skip that, and
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. Just continue and know that the the your decision to continue is the correct decision, not
Mhm.
whatever you've done before. Yeah.
Right, mashallah. All right, bro. Let's continue. There's a hadith, a beautiful hadith about wudu. I love it. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: ما منكم من أحد يتوضأ فيبلغ أو فيسبغ الوضوء ثم يقول: أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأن محمدا عبده ورسوله إلا فتحت له أبواب الجنة الثمانية يدخل من أيها شاء. رواه مسلم. Beautiful hadith. This is like min fadail al-wudu, right? Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, may Allah's peace and blessing be upon him, he said, there's none of you, O Muslims, no one will perform wudu, a complete wudu. So you perform a complete wudu. He emphasized on the completeness of the wudu. Make it like complete. Let's say wash the whole face, everything, as we mentioned. The real wudu, the perfect wudu, right? You perform the real one. After that, then you say this. This is a dua that we need to memorize. You say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Let me repeat that one more time. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. I bear witness that there is no one worthy to be worshipped except Allah. And I also bear witness that Muhammad is Allah's servant and messenger. No one will say this after a complete ablution except illa futihat lahu abwabul jannah, except the whole doors of Jannah. Athamaniya, he said, the whole 8 doors of Jannah will be opened for him. Yadkhulu minha haythu min ayyuha sha'a. He will enter through one of each, like through those 8 doors, whichever one he wish. If you want to go for the 8th one, the 6th one, the 4th one, the 3rd one, you just, this is telling you, you just go to Firdaus, because
Yeah, but
you
I
choose
was I was
Firdaus, man.
looking at the I was just looking at the doors ahead of me.
Oh, okay. You're closer to the Prophet right now, bro, because you're in Saudi. Yeah, that's cool, man. I like that.
Yeah, mashallah, mashallah. So I would like
Yeah.
to bring forth the 2 additions that you asked me to do to the wudu. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
um, guys. One is, why is it that these doors are open for the Muslim?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
as the Prophet taught us, about Salah, which starts with wudu. It's like every time you perform wudu, it's like you just took a shower, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's a physical process, but this is also spiritual, right? So those sins go out away, and now you are qualified to go into that pure and beautiful place called Jannah.
Inshallah.
Hmm?
Yeah.
So do not forget the Jannah journey. This is all about the journey right there.
الطيبات
للطيبين
للطيبين. Inshallah.
والطيبون. you
للطيبات.
know yeah, you cannot go to those beautiful palaces, those photo lines, when you have that dust of the desert on you. Come on, right?
Yeah, that
And the
makes sense,
second
man.
one,
I like
yeah,
that.
and the second one, by the way, this is not for kids, right? But it's beneficial for everyone. This
Mm-hmm.
is what Imam al-Ghazali thought. He said, when you go to perform wudu, don't just do it the basic wudu. Like, take it to the next level. What do
Mm-hmm.
I mean here? He says, when you intend to perform wudu, intend that you are performing wudu to worship your Lord, to fulfill what he has asked you to do. But when you wash your two wrists, okay, do it with this intention that, oh Allah, you know, wash, I'm washing these hands of whatever known lawful things that they have touched. Whatever haram
Mm.
things I have touched with this wrist, someone else's wealth that I should not touch, some anything that you touch not halal or not beloved by Allah. And when you wash that mouth also, do it with the intention of washing it off of every wrong word you have uttered.
Mm.
Hmm?
Inshallah. Inshallah.
Yes, when you rinse off that nose, the nose has to do with our desire. Like we smell food before we want it, right?
Bro, please don't talk about food right now. I'm fasting. Though
Oh, okay, okay,
you're not
all right.
fasting, but I am. And can you tell us the reason why you're not fasting, bro? Are you sick or something?
Because it's 11 a.m. here,
Oh, I'm
11
sorry. Okay, I
p.m.
got it.
here, p.m. here. So we broke fast some
11
like
p.m. Wow.
4 hours
Wow.
ago.
Wow. So basically, right
Forgive me.
now,
I hope there's not some background noise. I hope it's good.
it's manageable. It's okay. Yeah. Does
Great.
this mean
So
we are better than you guys right now or something? Because we are fasting and you guys are not fasting?
yeah, you guys are fasting, right? But if we
Yeah.
were to raise, I'm sure. Mm,
Hmm.
well,
Anyways, continue, mashallah.
yeah. So the nose, whatever haram things that you've desired, you're seeking Allah's forgiveness for this as well.
Mm-hmm.
In short, your wudu becomes a form of tawbah, right? A form of
Mm.
throwing away.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, a form of tawbah. So inna Allah yuhibbul tawabin,
ويحب
wa yuhibbul
المتطهرين. Mhm.
Allah, indeed, Allah loves those who repent and those who purify themselves. So do not just take
Mhm.
this as a physical act of, you know, cleaning the face with the
Yeah, it
eyes.
has a
No, when you
spiritual
do
act
this,
attached to it. Yeah, yeah.
yes. So the niyyah though is what will raise you to that level, because
You
every
just
deed
you
is
just
with the
reminded
niyyah.
me of the you just reminded me of the beautiful hadith that the Prophet ﷺ mentioned. He gave an analogy of the Muslim being like clean from sins and told the Sahaba when the Sahabas were like amazed by that, he gave them like the spring of water that flows outside someone's house who takes a five like shower 5 times from that. Like he gonna be like very clean.
Mhm.
So yeah, yeah, yeah. Just remember
Yes,
about
yeah.
that
No,
hadith.
not yes. You see, so that's what you do. You wash the face. Remember the eyes. Subhanallah, especially now. How many times do
Mm-hmm.
you just go out and you cannot help it? You may see something. Before you
Mm-hmm.
go face to face with your Lord, wash off those
Right.
sins so you can see your Lord more clearly, right?
Mm-hmm.
The hands, the head. We have the brain here. Do not forget that. All those wrong thoughts. You
Mm-hmm.
know, have it in the head of your mind that I also intend to shade those off, and Allah forgive me for every time I've thought of that wrong thing, every time I've listened to that wrong sound. And
Mm-hmm.
the feet
Mm-hmm.
that take us to wherever we go.
Mm-hmm.
So when you do this, you have that relationship with that wudu. Every time you've done anything wrong, before you do those two rak'ats, wash this off like that, so that you're washing both the physical and the spiritual.
MashaAllah, bro. Thank you. Jazakallah khairan for adding that. And should we continue?
Uh, yes, right away. We should conclude
Inshallah.
very soon, I'm sure.
All right. This is our last paragraph, and we are almost done. ومن شروط صحة الوضوء الاستنجاء أو الاستجمار قبله. Among the requirements for a wudu to be a wudu, for a wudu to be a complete wudu, to be accepted, there are things, there are prerequisite that the person needs to have in order for their wudu to be accepted. And one of these things are cleansing oneself, to be clean. If someone uses the restroom, let them clean themselves with water, with water. And that's al-istinja'u. If they don't have water, then they could do something called al-istijmaru, using, nowadays we say using toilet papers, right? But istijmar literally mean like using rocks. Don't try it nowadays, please. Use toilet papers if you have some. But if you don't have, if you have rocks or whatever, you could use that. But if you have toilet papers but not water, toilet papers will suffice. That will suffice. Yes. So cleanliness first, like cleaning oneself. Qabla al-wudu, right? And also another thing to remember is وَإِزَالَةُ كُلُّ مَا يَمْنَعُ وُصُولَ الْمَاءِ إِلَى الْبَشَرَةِ. Removing anything that will prevent the water, that will hinder the water from reaching the skin. Maybe some like flour, like anything that's on your body, like make sure you remove it, right? So anything that will hinder like the water from reaching the skin, remove that.
Yeah, like a watch, right?
A tight watch, I would say. Yes, thank you. Yes, those
Yeah, a
tight
tight
watch.
one because then you cannot move it around.
Oh, I thought I have my bro. I thought I have my watch with me. I was about to show off,
Bro, but what
but
about if the guy has some beard though? Do they also have to remove
if
it
they
till
have
they
what?
finish wudu and put it back?
If they have what? What you say?
If they have some beard, do they have to remove it till they finish
Oh
wudu
yeah,
and
this is how you remove your beer during wudu. You, like, for example, like this beer of mine is like long but not too long, not too thick too. So if you have a thick beer, thank you for that reminder, because we skipped the beer. We don't have beers, that's why we forgot about the beer thingy. Actually
yeah.
we do, but not that like long or thick. But yeah, if you have a beer, don't forget to put your fingers between your beer and make sure like the water enters in your beer. But if you have like a very thick beer, you could just do this. Okay, that will suffice. And wash whatever you can wash off your face. But if you have like a light beer, like mashallah, like ours here, me and Sheikh
Okay,
Ismail,
do you allow me
just
to make it
do this.
to make this a bit easier?
Please, please,
And
please.
if you when you're washing your face, since it comes together, we don't wash
Mm-hmm.
our face like this, Sheikh. I'm sorry, but maybe they're in Ohio, but we don't
No,
do it
no,
like that.
In Ohio here, we don't wash our faces at all, because that's what you want to hear.
All right. So look, guys, when you wash your and then like do things like this, right? Right.
Right, right.
So you have your fingers going inside. Now for the thick one, as we know, no particles will be going inside except a very very stubborn one. But
Mm-hmm.
that's an exception. So there you can do masa. You can caress
Mm-hmm.
on it to take off. Yeah. Don't
Mm-hmm.
you know?
That will mess the
Yeah.
beer, right?
Ah. And the Prophet wants you to go into Salah looking, looking.
MashaAllah. Thank you. That's even simpler. Jazakallah khairan, bro. Thank you. MashaAllah.
Um,
Just do that mask of the beer and make sure you don't, if you have a comb, you could comb it afterward and then pray.
mhm,
Mm-hmm.
mhm,
Inshallah. Inshallah. All right. So, yeah. لا تقبل الصلاة بدون wudu. A prayer will not be accepted if the person doesn't have wudu. A prayer without
mhm,
wudu is not a prayer. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Our Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم said, لا تقبل صلاة من أحدث حتى يتوضأ. A pray, a wudu, sorry, a prayer, right? A prayer of the person who went to the restroom or who is in Janaba state. Janaba is what we talked about yesterday, mashallah. Then
mhm,
their prayer will not be accepted until they make wudu. But this hadith here actually is not hadithul akbar, else it would have been janaba, right? The ritual bath. So this one actually means just
mhm,
the wudu breakers. So if one has like is with one of the wudu breakers, then they cannot pray until they renew their wudu, until they perform wudu. And what are the wudu
mhm,
breakers? We don't have many. We have few wudu breakers,
mhm.
right? After this, I'll just go to the wudu breakers and then we will wrap up after your comment, inshallah.
Yes, mashallah. This reminds me of a discussion we were having once, me and my good brother here. Let's just take it back to normal life. You see, when one of us goes to any of these embassies, they
Mm-hmm.
they search you, right, to make sure you don't have any harmful objects,
Mm-hmm.
or you pass through some laser that just scans you. It's the same thing. If you go into salah with some, one of those things, whether it's urine on the clothes or on the body or excreta, the angels are made of light, right? They are pure. They don't mess with filth and sin,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right,
right?
right, right.
Your prayer will not ascend into these networks and go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala,
Mm-hmm.
because Allah is pure and He does not accept but pure things. So this is why these things, right? So
Right.
yeah, this
Inshallah.
is why we have the clothing and we have this purification. So everything in Islam is there for a good reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Thank you, bro. Should we talk about the wudu breakers?
yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Wudu
There's
breakers.
if not everything we've talked about here is just a lost.
Yeah. Wudu breakers. Wama adraka ma wudu breakers. Does that make sense?
I just hope these are not one of it. I just touched this. My wudu is still valid.
What kind of tree is that? Is it a tin or tamr or
Not,
palm
no,
tree?
no. It's just some
Oh, okay,
tall
then you're good.
flower up there.
No, no, then you're good, bro. You're good. That doesn't break your wudu.
Oh,
By the way, no
alhamdulillah,
tree,
alhamdulillah.
no tree break wudu. Anyways, now
Oh,
after
don't
the
worry. I
wudu,
won't eat it. I won't eat it. I know you're just worried
okay,
that you'll see somebody. Yeah.
inshallah. Alright, the wudu breakers like nawaqid wudu in our deen here is al kharij min as sabilain. Whatever
Mm.
comes from as sabilain. When we say sabilain, it's either urine or number two. So either number one or number two, whatever comes out from the person going to number one or number two, then that breaks the wudu completely. Like that's
Bro, not everybody knows number one and number two, right?
please explain. That's why I have you here, bro. MashaAllah. Yalla.
It's just
We
this
call
year
it
that
number one and
it's
number two
just
here. That's
only
why.
this year. It
Huh?
is only this year that I could know what is number one and number two, and I'm
Like
sure
for
there are
real?
many like me.
Like for real?
Yeah. So by the way, it's the two kinds of toilet, right? When we go
Right.
to the toilet and
Mm-hmm.
the person either passes out liquids
Mm-hmm.
or solids, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or if it's,
Okay,
yeah.
liquid or
So
solid.
either one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
And to ink like a khalim and a sabilain, there are three things. Is the liquid and the solid and the air, guys.
Oh,
The air
oh,
is
oh, yeah.
added.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the Trinity, right?
Yeah, I almost forget to mention that, right? And you too, you skipped it. That's like,
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
Al kharij min sabilain, we have three: liquid, air, and solid. Right. Those are the three
Mhm.
things to remember. That
Mhm.
breaks is one's wudu. When we say air,
Mhm.
like passing gas, right? Okay. وزوال العقل بنوم ثقيل أو غيره. These are the only things that breaks wudu. When we say zawalul aql, is being unconscious. Being unconscious, there are different ways to go unconscious, guys. One is like by fainting, you faint,
Mhm.
subhanallah, wa na'udhu billah. You go like deep sleep. But if you sit down like this, if I sit down like this, bro, and then like just kind of sleep like this.
Ali, and then you just wake up.
Oh yeah,
Ali,
yeah, thank you. Yeah,
bro, that was a little bit
this
deep, bro.
doesn't
That was
break
a
my.
little bit deep.
But
I
you
called you
almost scared me.
twice.
But you almost scared me. Like you called me like this, Ali, like slowly, like. But Ali, no. Anyway, this even if you go deeper, like the Sahabas, they used to sit down, um, and sleep in the masjid, sitting down. By the way, sitting down and sleep in the masjid, and they would even snore like, and then still like pray. But this the condition is if they're sitting, and the scholars they say the reason is like they didn't renew their wudu is because they were sitting. You know, if you were sitting to pass gas, you will know. Like you can't easily pass gas while sitting, like sitting. But if you like lay down and sleep deeper, then you could pass gas without knowing. Guys, so zawalul aql by sleeping or by fainting, going unconscious by sleeping or by fainting, or also maybe you go some people go crazy, like they lost their mind. Or some people like they by drinking or whatever, or going to the hospital and just being in receiving some kind of injections and just go to sleep or go unconscious for a minute. So all of these things will break one's wudu. So whenever a person goes unconscious, then their wudu is no more. Yeah, they have to
And
renew it.
we know we are not supposed to drink alcohol, but if someone has done so,
Hmm.
and what it does is takes away the consciousness as well.
Yeah, then they have to renew wudu, or maybe smoking marijuana, bro.
Oh yeah, that one as well. That one that takes you high.
How about the
When you go high, you don't know what happens. What happens low. So
yeah? How about the thing like
that one, I'll have to do a Google search, bro.
that one too? It does, like, yeah, you go off of your wudu instantly.
By
Anyways,
the way, those of you who love fizzy drinks, they are not the best to have a lot of. But when you go like, some gas comes out, we are not talking about that gas there. Don't worry.
oh, thank you for that. Yeah, we're talking
Yeah,
about like when someone farting, like
yeah,
not passing gas like through your mouth, but through the private parts. So that's the
yeah.
passing gas we're talking about here. This is Islam, and we're trying to make it simple and my like friendly and easy to talk about. Else, this will be like a very difficult topic to talk about. La ilaha illallah al kharij min as sabilain, and like you have to explain that, bro. Like, yeah, that'll be difficult. Yeah, we're just trying to make it fun and mashallah, easy to swallow. So there are only two things that breaks one's wudu is al kharij min as-sabilain wa zawal al-aql. What like is when something comes out of the two channels, or maybe when someone goes unconscious, which we just explained. And how about eating like camel's meat? That to my knowledge doesn't break one's wudu. Yes. How about like you want to mention about that because you are there? You guys are doing it every day.
That has remained a controversial topic for a good while. Um,
Mm-hmm. Inshallah.
yes, that has divided opinion, but with everything that is this controversial,
Mm-hmm.
um, the scholars tend to say that a fatwa does not negate a fatwa. A valid legal ruling does not negate a valid legal ruling.
Mm-hmm.
So, a trusted, respectable scholar has said it this way, another one that way, both going back to sources from the Prophet and
Sallallahu alaihi
deduction.
wasallam.
Yes, so it's acceptable to side in one way. But two important points. If you're
Mm-hmm.
following a manhaj, a way that a certain group of scholars do follow, if you
Mm-hmm.
reach to this point and you prefer something else, it's recommended that you just follow their ruling on this one,
Mm-hmm.
so that you are not doing what is called fatwa shopping. You're not picking and choosing. When you like, you take. When you don't like, you leave.
Mm-hmm. Mashallah.
Now, what about just the normal average Muslim, who prays his 5 a day and does things normally? You just go with the advice of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Leave that which gives you doubt to that which does not give you doubt,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you don't really know what to do, but repeating a wudu is not bad. In fact, it's recommended. Just go and perform wudu a second time and pray. That way, at least you don't have second some doubt while you're in the middle of a salah, like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
what if that meat just spoiled my wudu,
What
right?
if
And a
Allah
wudu
didn't
just takes a
accept my
minute,
prayer?
you
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
And a wudu is just a minute. Now you could be praying 3 minutes into the prayer, you have to go down, perform wudu, or think about it, you know so dama
Make it
yuribuk
simple.
ila mala yuribuk.
Mashallah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
make it easy on
Jazakallah
yourself.
khairan.
Yeah.
Jazakallah khairan, Sheikh.
Mm.
Um, wudu has a substitute that we're going to talk about maybe tomorrow, inshallah. It's called
Mm.
tayammum. I want to call it dry ablution, tayammum, the substitute of wudu, right? And we have tanbih aham also. We have some like general, warning, some, awareness that we want to raise about also wudu and tayammum and things like that. Inshallah, tomorrow, bismillah, we will see if we can do that. Inshallah ta'ala. Like, mashallah, bro, 55 minutes.
Alhamdulillah. You think that wudu is just kick the bucket and proceed, but
Yeah.
carry some weight.
Yep. An hour of
Carry,
explanation, and we're still not done. Subhanallah.
subhanallah.
All right. May
Subhanallah.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept this from us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our fasting, prayers, and du'as in this month of Ramadan and thereafter. May
Ameen.
Allah grant us the highest level of Jannah, Jannatul Firdaus. Your final words, Shaykhna, before we wrap up.
My final words as we wrap up, my mind goes to a book like Al-Akhdari. Lakhdari. I don't think there's any 20-year-old
Bro,
who
no.
has not heard of that.
The right way to say is laklariu. You don't say nothing but
Lakhdari.
laklariu. Laklariu. That's how we say it here. Yeah, laklariu.
Yeah,
All right.
Lakhdari. Subhanallah. So books like that talk about wudu, they start with water. So
Bro.
guys, whatever what you will call water, right? If I don't have to say blue water or that's, what do you call it? Juice water. You cannot perform wudu with those things. Juice water,
Like,
blue
hold
water.
on. You can perform wudu with water like juice?
Juice water, yes.
You can perform wudu with juice? Like Coca-Cola?
Juice
It's water.
water.
But it's water, bro.
Juice
Like
water is.
Coca-Cola.
Come on, no. Just because it's liquid does not mean it's water. If its color has changed, or
Oh, it
its
has to be like the
taste,
pure
or
water.
it just has to be water.
Okay. So the taste has to be the taste of water. The color has to be the color of water. And the smell has to be the
And
smell
the
of water.
smell, right.
Okay. I mean, I see, like,
Basically,
once someone
you just
performed wudu with Coca-Cola, I was like, man, these are like educated people, mashallah. Good job.
nah. So that is it there. There's only one exception to this rule where the water can sting your eyes and you can still perform wudu with it, and that is sea water.
Okay, it's the salty one, right?
Yes, that one.
Okay.
Not the water you have in your home and then someone wanted to cook and then added some cup of salt, and then that also becomes salt water. So just take out the adjectives, use.
Mashallah. Okay. Jazakallah khairan, Sheikh. Very important, man. I mean, wudu is interesting. I like wudu. Let's continue tomorrow.
Inshallah ta'ala. It was great being here. I hope and pray that our honorable and blessed audience enjoyed this. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless
Ameen.
this Ramadan and
Ameen.
accept from us.
Ameen.
Ameen ya Rabbi.
هذا وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك والسلام.